Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video. And I have been tagged once again. Sorry I've been a little bit behind on videos and these tags, just been busy with a lot of schoolwork and things like that. Had a lot of stuff to do for school and things like that, you know, get some homework done and, you know, that kind of stuff. But now it's the weekend. I do have some free time now, and I'm going to be doing a couple videos. I'll be doing, of course, some tag videos I was going to do, and the first one I was actually tagged in was created by Sean Erschen, a really great guy on here, known as the Modern Horror tag. And I also know that Horrific Nightmares JM also tagged me as well. So the original creator of this tag was Sean Erschen, and I'm going to tag a few people who I haven't done it yet. I'm going to tag my two good friends, Rob and Alex, MovieReviewTime and Alex 2.0 respectively, and my good buddy Justin, Metal Horror Pack. So I'll be tagging those three guys, and it's 12 questions, and let's get started. Question number 1. What is your favorite modern horror film of the new millennium? My favorite horror film of the new millennium? I probably would have to say the first Conjuring film. The first Conjuring was a film that I didn't really know what to expect going in, because I remember seeing a lot of teasers for the film, not knowing really what it was. Seeing the teaser and the teaser poster and things like that, so I didn't really know what to expect going into The Conjuring. And I saw it in theaters 2 times during the summer of 2013, and I loved it. I fell in love with the film, and you know, I've watched it so many times ever since then. It's really one of those films that just stuck with me. A really good cast, really great music. I love the whole 70s vibe. Really creepy images, things like that. It's directed very, very well. And I also really enjoyed the sequel as well. But the first Conjuring was without a doubt my favorite horror film of the new millennium. Number 2, who is your favorite modern horror icon of the new millennium? That would have to be Chrome Skull from Laid to Rest. I think that was probably one of my probably out of the current horror icons of the modern generation. I have to say that Chrome Skull is definitely my favorite. Just, I love Chrome Skull in Laid to Rest. Number 3, do you agree with the decision to make The Conjuring a universe of spin-offs, or should it have been kept at its own franchise? This is really kind of an interesting answer to this question. If you want to make spin-offs, then go for it, but only if you have somewhere to go with the story, because so far they've only made 3 spin-offs, and one of them was a sequel to the spin-off, and the first Annabelle was the first spin-off of the Conjuring universe, and I was not a fan of Annabelle. I was really let down by Annabelle. Was not a fan of it. Well, considering that the director of Annabelle did Mortal Kombat Annihilation, more as I call Mortal Kombat Abomination, because that movie is an abomination to no end. And yeah, I mean, that was just really one of those letdown films. But the sequel was really good, though, Annabelle Creation. And I've not been hearing the best things either about The Nun. So it's like, the thing is, like, when I'm listening to that kind of stuff, it's like, it doesn't seem like there's much to the films. So like, if you don't have anywhere to go with the story for spin-offs, then don't do the spin-offs. Like, just keep The Conjuring its own franchise. Unless you, like I said, unless you can go somewhere with the story, then go for the spin-offs. Because I know that, I think The Crooked Man's getting a spin-off and things like that. So, you know, only do spin-offs if you have somewhere to go with the story. But if you don't, then just keep The Conjuring at its own franchise. Number 4, is It Follows a modern classic or a shameless ripoff of 80s horror classics? I think It Follows is probably, in my opinion, a modern day classic. Just like when I think of movies like Get Out, or Hereditary, things like that. I consider those horror films modern-day classics. And I feel like 10 years down the road, that's going to be seen as classic films, like, down the road, because very well done films. Number 5, was The Meg a fun thrill ride, a cheese fest, a scary horror film, or a complete bust? To me, it was a fun thrill ride because I always really enjoy shark films. Some I do like, some of them I don't like, but I really enjoyed Jaws 1 and 2, really enjoyed Deep Blue Sea, really enjoyed The Shallows. I even like Red Water with Lou Diamond Phillips and Christy Swanson that was made for cable. I think on TBS, I think that was aired on back in like 2002. But I really enjoy that one as well. And I really do enjoy the first Open Water as well. The second one I haven't seen in forever, but I really did enjoy The Meg. It was a fun thrill ride. I like Jason Statham. I like Rainn Wilson. I like Ruby Rose. I think the director, John Turteltaub, was a very solid director. You know, Instinct with Anthony Hopkins, Cool Runnings, which is a great Disney film, the National Treasure films, among other stuff as well. So I think he's a really solid director. And, you know, it was a good cast. I like the action sequences. I love the whole finale with Jason Statham. And it was a fun time. Number 6, is the remake fad over, or are there still more classics you would like to see remade today? If so, what films would you choose? Well, the thing with me is like, if I want to see, like, films, like, rebooted again, they're not necessarily, like, horror movies, because I can't really, like, what other horror films can you remake? You know, they already remade The Stepfather, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Children of the Corn, Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Prom Night, I mean, Black Christmas, and The Fog. Like, they've pretty much remade, like, every single horror film you can think of. So I'm really starting to think this might be the end of the remake fad, because when I think of movies being rebooted, reboot films that were really bad to begin with, and then reboot them. Like, one prime example is I would really like to see a reboot of Max Payne, because the Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg was really bad, because I'm a big fan of the video game Max Payne. I always thought Thomas Jane would be a great choice for Max Payne. That's like an example, but like for horror remakes, I think the fad is really starting to dwindle down a little bit, because there ain't much to remake nowadays. Number 7, do you prefer slow burns like The Babadook, Hereditary, and A Quiet Place, or gore fest like Terrifier, Saw, and Hostel? I love them both for different reasons. For slow burn horror films, I really have to be invested into the story. That's why I enjoy films like The Changeling with George C. Scott, The Shining with Jack Nicholson, A Quiet Place, that's a slow burn. Like I said, The Babadook, The Conjuring, that's a slow burn. Hereditary is a slow burn. Like, I have to be really invested into the story, into the characters, and if a slow burn horror film doesn't do that for me, then I can't get into it. Prime example is the Paranormal Activity films. I was never able to get into those, and those are slow burn films. The Blair Witch Project, that's another slow burn film. I really love the Blair Witch Project. And I also really enjoy gory films too. I mean, so I love both for different reasons. Number 8, do you feel The Walking Dead TV series has run its course, or is there plenty of gas left in the tank? Surprisingly enough, I never really watched much of The Walking Dead. I've only seen a couple episodes, so I can't really comment on that, because that was one of those TV shows I never got into. You know, it was just never, like, I always watched more, like, you know, crime investigation shows, and, you know, I'd go back and watch older TV shows like Throw Rock from the Sun, or That 70s Show, and things like that, so I can't really comment on that one. Number 9, old franchises like Halloween and The Terminator are bringing back the original characters and actors. What other classic series do you think this could work for? Easily, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I think those two franchises, you can easily bring back the survivors from the other films. I mean, that could still work with original characters, because like it's characters that horror fans have known for so long, and if you're a big fan of those franchises, you'll be able to know all the characters. So I really think bringing back original characters from the original Jason films and like any other kind of horror franchise you can think of, or any films in general, you know, bringing back those original characters is just like is an homage to the originals, and I think that's a good thing. Question number 10: does the vampire genre have a place in the modern era? I don't really know, because I haven't really seen too many vampire films in the modern era. Like only a few that come to the top of my head. Like Daybreakers. I guess The Dark with Steven Seagal, that was pretty bad. So I don't really know. I mean, I can't really say. I mean, you don't really see too many vampire films like nowadays. Like, unlike back in the day where you had like Near Dark, Lost Boys, Fright Night, Vampires by John Carpenter, things like that. Number 11, what is your favorite ghost story or haunted house film of the new millennium? Same thing with question number 1, The Conjuring, because for ghost stories. I mean, The Conjuring is just a really creepy film. That's without a doubt my favorite ghost story. And the last question number 12, your thoughts on Stranger Things. Is it a modern masterpiece or just nostalgia and fan service? To me, I think it's a modern masterpiece. It's a really, really well done TV show. And so there you have it. Those are my answers to these questions. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.